2. Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net as part of our ongoing community and charity series and things we like to learn about and talk about. Done a lot around here the last few years, and it's not just because I have dear friends involved with the kidney disease and learning about kidney disease and friends at the National Kidney Foundation, but also another event. We talk about Sante that happens every single year. This is a big event coming up on October the 6th, and here to talk about it, and I always love bringing the smart people on. She was parking her car at Hopkins where my wife had her life saved a couple times. We welcome Deidra Crews on, assistant professor of medicine, and I don't even know how to pronounce is it nephrologist? Am I saying that
you
right?
Got it.
All right. Well, I mean, the PH gives me an F, so I only got a C in that. I didn't get an F. But tell me about your involvement in all this. We love having folks on and learning because I think the numbers sometimes are staggering, and we realize there's somebody in their office, there's somebody down the hallway, there's somebody that's a neighbor, family member that's affected by this, and to be on the lookout about ways we can all participate and help.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. So kidney disease really is an under-discussed topic, a very important one, though. So in the United States, kidney disease is the 9th leading cause of death, and it actually kills more people each year than breast or prostate cancer, which certainly we hear a lot more about. And so it's really important that all of us, I think, try to raise awareness around chronic kidney disease. So around 15% of the adult population are affected by kidney disease, and affecting really many more people is the fact that 1 in 3 American adults have different risk factors for kidney disease, and those include individuals who may have either diabetes or who have high blood pressure. And so in Maryland, where we certainly really need to focus on this condition, it's important to highlight that there are nearly 3,000 Marylanders who are awaiting a kidney for transplantation because they have advanced chronic kidney disease, and more than 9,000 Marylanders are currently being treated with kidney dialysis. And so really we're, those of us who work in this field, myself as a kidney physician or nephrologist, as you very correctly pronounced, are really trying to get out and raise awareness around this important disease.
Well, when you say transplant, my wife had 2 bone marrow transplants, same donor in Germany, a lymphocyte infusion the second time, and she's going to be the best person in his wedding next year. So it's amazing. But, Dick Cass was involved in kidney transplant. There are people in our community, and I did an hour and a half with Dick and didn't even mention it 2 weeks ago, which is shame on me. But so many people in my life have been affected by this, and knowing people and bringing people into understanding. I mean, I've had friends tell me about dialysis 10 or 15 years ago, and we've come so far, and I think that doctors like you that begin your studies and see how far we can come and where we save lives. I mean, my wife's in the other room right now because of a transplant that would not have existed 20, 25, 30 years ago at all, and certainly maybe not even 10 or 15 years ago would there have been donors to save lives. And you talk about these 3,000 folks right now, right here in our community, right down the street, right around the corner, awaiting a transplant, that the educational part of all of this and where that all comes from is so important.
Absolutely, and you really, I think some people have a lot of questions about just what kidney disease actually is, and basically, it's important to note that the kidneys, and most of us are born with 2 of them, are really the organs of our body that help us to clear toxins or waste from our body, and when they are not functioning well, we can see changes in our blood, and we can see we can actually identify that a person has kidney disease through a simple blood test and also a simple urine test as well. In order to get tested for kidney disease, you really have to have both a blood test and a urine test. For many people, they have can be found to have pretty mild kidney disease, but for some, they will have more advanced disease, and that's where treatments such as kidney transplantation, which is our optimal treatment for kidney failure, comes into play, and also kidney dialysis as well. And so we're really trying to get the word out about this condition, and really hoping that more people will talk with their doctors about finding out what the status is of their kidneys, so that they may find out early and may make steps to be able to prevent the disease from getting worse.
Dr. Deidra Crews joining us here, assistant professor of medicine and nephrologist. And I said it right the second time at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, talking about all things National Kidney Foundation and the Greater Baltimore Kidney Walk. That's on Sunday, October 6th at the Weinberg Y. You know, folks get together here and come together for all sorts of causes and put teams together and ambassadors. And we've been a part of so many of these. And I think for survivors and even for victims, for people to come together and know that they're doing something for a good cause. And this is one of those days where you can participate all the way in or just come and participate a little bit on the sidelines as well. But this is Sunday, October 6th at the Weinberg. Talk a little bit about when these events happen, because education happens here. And more than that, you know, my wife, when she was diagnosed with leukemia, we didn't know anybody else. And now we are really a support family that, you know, we're the first people a lot of people call. I don't think there's a month that goes by where someone doesn't call us and say, can you please help? And people don't know where to turn. And these support groups and these events that come together, they raise awareness, they raise funds, but they also build some bridges to community in all of this as well.
Absolutely. So the Kidney Walk is the nation's largest fundraiser to fight kidney disease, and it's held in nearly 100 communities across the country, and more than 85,000 walkers joining the National Kidney Foundation.
That's a lot of people
to participate. And as you noted, the awareness building is really important. There's a lot of educational materials that get distributed at the Kidney Walk, and it really does help to build a community around this effort. The funds that are raised are used to directly help kidney patients with some of the expenses that they incur, and just really trying to meet some basic needs around things like getting transportation to their therapies and making sure they can get their medications.
The untold battle of what goes on after the day you're diagnosed, right? Literally.
Absolutely.
Taking the medicines home and being in, you know, IPOP and every morning, and, you know, the things my wife went through, you know, the dialysis part of anyone involved in any of this, you know, it's not a weekend. It's a real lifestyle change for everyone, every family member, and it's a community fight. It really is. No one fights alone.
Absolutely, and you know, these funds also, very importantly, in particular here in the Maryland and Delaware region, really help to support some of the research that's ongoing to help us figure out how we can prevent people from developing kidney disease and more specifically prevent them from having their disease progress. And so it's a really important opportunity for all of us to kind of contribute to this effort around fighting kidney disease.
All right, man. We got post-activity cool downs by Tina Brown of the Divine Fitness and Health Services, photo booth, music, the Kidney Kids Corner with face painting and games. Everybody loves face painting. You know, everybody's got kids in my world, and I'm on Facebook, so I know how cool face painting is. T-shirt design competition, prizes, giveaways, vendor exhibits. Everybody's going to be out. It is October the 6th. It's the Greater Baltimore Kidney Walk. It's 17 years now they've been doing this. I want to send everybody out to kidneywalk.org, kidneywalk.org. Doc, thanks for getting up and telling us about everything here. And last thing for you, I want to go back to just people and symptoms. And sometimes I think all the gibberish and all the drug ads I see on TV and causes and stuff, but feeling more tired, having less energy, trouble concentrating, poor appetite, these sound like sort of symptoms of all sorts of things. How difficult is this to diagnose if someone comes in and when they say to you, hey, you're having a kidney problem right now, that's something no one would want to hear, and that's one of the things that keeps people away from people like you because they're fearful, right?
Well, in some parts. So it's actually not difficult to diagnose, but it's important. As I mentioned, it involves two very simple tests, one that's a blood test and then one that is a urine test. And those are really the first things that we do in order to diagnose that a person has.
That's sort of the first step in everything, right? That's sort of a basic physical. If I'm going to come in as a 50 almost, don't tell anyone I'm turning 51 next month, but I am. This walk happens the week before I'm 51. But, you know, if you're doing just your basic physical and I come in and say, all right, it's been a little while, Doc, here I am, that's a pretty basic thing that would happen, right? So,
well, for most people, interestingly, people who are being seen by a primary care clinician, they will certainly have the blood test done. Fewer will have the urine test done, so both of them are required. And then importantly, as you noted, the symptoms of kidney disease, and for really most people with earlier stage kidney disease, they generally have no symptoms whatsoever, which makes the getting actual testing done even more important, because there may not be any signs. But for those people who have more advanced disease, they may start to have some of the symptoms that you noted, but they can be the symptoms of a number of different conditions. And so that's why it makes actually going in and specifically asking your clinician, your physician who may be seeing you to tell you about how your kidneys are doing. And so in many cases, as I mentioned, everyone has had the blood test, but having that urine test as well is going to be really important for early diagnosis in particular of kidney disease.
Doc, appreciate all that you do. I spent many a morning on rounds with my wife. She spent 155 nights there. She's doing great. But I have such a profound respect for everything you guys do in keeping people alive and educating people like me for my audience as well. So we'll keep up the great work. We hope to see you on October the 6th at All Things, the Greater Baltimore Kidney Walk. Find All Things there at kidneywalk.org. Thanks for getting up with us, Doc. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Dr. Deidra Crews, she is over at Hopkins and teaching me things. She is the assistant professor of medicine and nephrology and nephrologist. There you go. That's PH, sounds like an F, at Johns Hopkins University and the School of Medicine over there. Learn more about everything that's going on October the 6th at kidneywalk.org. You can find me out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram. We're doing Baltimore positive, awesome stuff all month long. Find all of our chats up there with Baltimore City Council President Brandon Scott, also Reverend Al Hathaway. Let's see, Ben Jealous, Sarah Heminger from Thread, Dick Cass. That's just in the last couple weeks. Oh, Ron Shapiro as well. Lots of other stuff coming up, including chats with Bill Ferguson next month. Ben Cardin is coming on, John Sarbanes. That's all in October, all at Baltimore Positive. We're doing a lot of great stuff. I appreciate Bill Cole for inspiring us and sponsoring all of our work here from Cole Roofing and Gordian Energy and all that they do to keep us going and bringing on the community and charity series here at WNST.net. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. We are WNST.net AM 1570 and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.